And welcome to the Writer's Life, place where you get the sight, sound, smells, taste of my particular writer's life, and where you get the truth about the writer's life. Ooh, itchy from being outside. Um, Subscribe if you haven't already. Punch the like button and tap the bell for notifications so that you don't miss out on one single exciting video. A little bit of a freeform Friday today because I don't have that much exciting, anything that exciting to talk about. Other than I do. Oh, by the way, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you to go to the store, www.vinzandri.com, vinzandri.com, to pick up some books for this weekend. Chase Baker and the Lincoln Curse is currently a flash sale at 99 cents. It's a bargain, and it will keep you riveted for at least 3 hours this weekend. And if you like that book, pick up more Chase Baker books. It seems to be my most popular series. Anyway, if you like adventure, romance, escapism, so going back to yesterday, Jaws, it dawned on me while I was finishing it up that I'm like, all right, wait a minute. As soon as this thing started bleeding, a lot of sharks would come out of would be attracted to the blood, and they would come out of it, like from miles around to feast on this thing, and it would be dead. It would be what they call apple cord in short order. And even if it's different for sharks, even if that kind of thing is different for sharks, there was never any mention of it in the movie. So I just happened to put up a post on Facebook today about the subject, and I haven't read Benchley's book like I mentioned, and so I said, maybe Benchley addresses this topic in his book, and a couple of guys, good friends of mine from college, and both New Englanders. And it seems like every New Englander knows a little bit of something about the ocean and fishing and all the commercial fishing and all that sort of stuff, whether they do it or not. And one guy said, well, Benchley did mention it in his book, and he said that great whites, once they establish their killing territory, that no other sharks dare enter it. And he said, so even if that's not true, I think was his point. It gave the impression that it's true, and suspension of belief, he called it, and or suspension of disbelief, whichever it is. Anyway, it's kind of a plausible explanation. I would kind of the same kind of plausible explanations I offer in some of my more fantastic stories, for sure. We all do it as pulp writers, fiction writers, mystery writers, all that stuff. But yet another guy, came back and said, no, I don't think that's entirely accurate. That like a lot of hammerheads and tiger sharks would say, screw it, we're going in for the kill. We're getting some of this. So I got two opinions, and the first one, you got to go with the first one if you're gonna make this book and you're gonna make the movie. So anyway, but it just goes to show you, like, if you have something that that sounds like it's plausible, scientifically speaking, use it to your advantage in the book. But it should have been in the script. I think they could have handled it with like a couple of lines of dialogue. Done deal. But then they probably figured, you know what? No one's gonna know the difference. No one's gonna give a shit. It's an action movie, so I don't know. So there's that. So Hunter Biden's, there's a special prosecutor's been given the green light for the Hunter Biden thing, I guess. But this guy Weiss, I guess his name is, but he's been working on it for 5 years anyway. So some people think that it's a move that means he's going to go to trial and it's going to be this big deal and whatever. And then other journalists are saying that like this is a way to protect Hunter. and they can stretch it out past the election. Either way, it's going to be interesting to see how the mainstream media handles it as opposed to independent media. It's something I'm going to keep an eye on in any case. All right, and the other thing is my Kickstarter program took a big dump. I don't mean to be crude, but it just, I compared it, like I tried to do like the simplest Kickstarter possible. You know what I mean? Not waste anybody's time and all that. But apparently, people want Kickstarters. They want to give money to Kickstarters that are very complex and take a long time to read and absorb and the whole bit. And like I compared it to a couple others. Like Neil Gaiman's got one up now that's made more than like $1.5 million or close to $2 million. Of course, it's Neil Gaiman, and Dean Smith is always doing successful Kickstarters. But here's the deal. God bless them for sure. And, if you can make it successful and great. But if I were to take the time to make Kickstarters like theirs, it would take me maybe 2 weeks. Like every day, all my time. And I'm not willing to do that. I find it much more important at this stage of my life to be writing more and more material. And later on, maybe when I'm making more money, I'll have a team of people who can build the Kickstarter for me. Now, that's not to say I can't sub it out to like Fiverr or something like that, but I'm going to trust that. And I got to be honest, my heart's not in it. Into the Kickstarter thing. I don't know why. It should be, but my heart is not into it. And that's probably half the reason for the failure. But like Dean's got like 5 people on staff that work for him, so he doesn't have to do any of it if he doesn't want to. I don't know if he does participate in it. I know he participates in the videos, and they have fun with it. And Neil certainly has a crew working for him. He's an icon. So I do think you need help with them. You can't. That is something an author can't handle on his own. Am I making excuses? No. If I was going to do a Kickstarter, I should have done it right off the bat, instead of, kind of half-assing it. It took me like an hour, and that's just not going to cut it. But what I will try is Indiegogo. I guess at Indiegogo, even if you only get $50 worth of pledges, you get to keep the money. Whereas at Kickstarter, it's all or nothing. Like if you pledge like 2,000, you want to make $2,000, you're not going to get anything unless you achieve the $2,000. But with Indiegogo, if someone pledges $5, you get $5. You give them the reward. I like the idea of that better. It just, it's because it seems to me like just a simpler way of doing things, and it's fair and whatever. We'll see. Anyway, it's like not the first thing on my to-do list. The first thing on my to-do list is get these books out. And I've got like 10 books waiting in the wings to go out, a bunch of novellas and stories, and and that doesn't count the stuff that's coming out from Down and Out and Suspense. On the traditional side of things. So my plate's full, and freelancing. So anyway, but the freelancing, I'm getting the weekend off, so which is good because I need to get Chase Baker and the Period of Madness out, and I'm going to have it out in ebook and paperback by the end of this weekend, I promise, and so that I can spread the word next week. And in the meantime, we'll get the audio going. All right, that's all I got. It's Friday. Hope you're all having a great day in the Northeast. It's beautiful out. Fall's coming, though. You can almost feel it. All right. I will talk to you guys Sunday, probably, unless there's a Black Swan event tomorrow. And have a great weekend. Ciao, ciao.